Hello, everyone. Good evening and good morning to all. And again, thank you so much for connecting to this webinar and for your valuable time. I think it's 6:30, so we can start. The topic of the today's webinar is the secret of professional growth, and this is by the means of or by the Lean Six Sigma way. So, in this webinar, we are going to see the very short introduction of the Learn and Apply. That is our organization and myself, who is the speaker of this webinar, and the brief introduction of Learn and Lean and Six Sigma. Then we are going to see what is the importance of this certification, Lean Six Sigma certification in professional life, and how it is going to improve or how to it is going to change the professional life. So that is why. So this is very important question. Why we should go for this certification and what is its important. Then once you understand why this certification is important, then we are going to see in detail. So what is this Lean? What is Six Sigma? Why we are talking about Six Sigma, not 5, 7 or 8? What is the approach used in this Lean Six Sigma implementation? What are the different types of steps? What is the implementation rules? And what is the Lean approach? So in short, once we cover the why, we are going for this Lean Six Sigma certification, then we are going to see what is that. So what is Lean and what is Six Sigma? And once it is covered, then we know what is this certification, what it's important, then how to do the certifications, and why you should the learn, why you should select the Learn and Apply for these certifications, what are the unique things, what are the benefits, and what are the purpose of Learn and Apply. That's why you should connect to Learn and Apply, so that we are going to see after that. And again, it is connected to how and why. So everywhere we are going to ask this question why. So why this certification is important, then what is this Lean and Six Sigma, then why we should connect this Learn and Apply to get these certifications, and the last point is when and again why. And we know this certification is very much important, and what is a good time to go for these certifications, so why not now. So all these questions answers we will be getting in this webinar. So without spending so much of time on this index, so let's start. About us, Learn and Apply, that is a we are a team of having over a decade of experience in process engineering, specialize in Lean Six Sigma implementation, training, certifications, TPM, as well as in providing innovative engineering solutions to reduce or eliminate actual and potential problems in an organization. And what is the vision of our organization? We are on a vision that we want to always delight our customers beyond their satisfactions by changing their lives positively. So
Yeah,
Learn and Apply is a brand and which is trusted by many of the leading brands in organizations like Crompton, Whirlpool, Ramad Industries, Stress Orthopedic, Heidegger Corporation, and Rajdeep. In addition to these bigger organizations, we are also trusted by many of the individuals, and they are having a very good comment about Learn and Apply curriculum and the way we are doing these certifications and trainings. So this is a very meaningful and practical approach, and they had get benefited from it. So these are the some of the testimonials from them, and we always believe in learn better and apply faster, and always ensure that continuous improvement forever, whatever you do. About myself Vijay Sabre, and I'm a founder and CEO of Learn and Apply. I'm ASQ certified and recertified Six Sigma Black Belt, and I'm having this certification from 2013 to active. This is my certification number. I'm working this in Lean Six Sigma from 2008, and I'm having hands-on experience in this field and worked across the many industries. By education, I'm having a BE Mechanical, and I have completed MBA in Operations and Industrial Management. I had also worked with multinational companies in India, China, Hungary, the Netherlands, the USA as a trainer, practitioner, and mentor. So in that, my role was to provide the training to the entire plant and have a continuous improvement implementation. I have also executed and mentored over 100 number of projects, combined as a green belt and black belts. I had also worked as a continuous improvement manager to improve the processes of vendors and suppliers across India. So this is my portfolio. Now let's talk about the why we are going for these certifications. So what is the importance of these Lean Six Sigma certifications? So first and most important that the today's world is very competitive, and it is very much necessary that you should improve your intrinsic value. Just I'm requesting all of you to please put your microphones on mute. Now, again, it is very important to be competent in highly competitive world, because we know what is the situation today, and it is very much necessary that you should be competent in the world. It is also required to improve your self confidence. Then, if you want to get the rising manager positions and the promotions, and if you also want to get the excellent salary, then this is the one of the certification you should must have. Then to widen the thinking capability and develop your ability to see the opportunity in problems. So why it will be going to develop? Because once you go through this Lean Six Sigma approach, then your analytical thinking, your managerial skill is going to be improved. So in this way, it is actually improving your thinking capability. So you can see multiple things, or we can see the opportunity in problems. So it will ultimately help you to explore your professional as well as personal life. It is also help you to your nurture your managerial skills as well as leadership ability. One of the most important thing that if you want to become a successful in your professional life, then there must be one skill, that is a team management. You should be very good to work in a team and manage your team very effectively. So that is very important, and with these certifications or going through this training, you will be able to do this perfect management of this team. This is also very important to do the time management, because the time is limited, and how to use that time so that you get the maximum benefits. So from that purpose also, this certification is very much important. When you're going to learn new things or new approaches like Lean and Six Sigma, ultimately it is going to improve your moral also, because you are getting this such a knowledge that you can use everywhere, and that's why there is improvement in the moral. If you want to learn some of the product or processes by some systematic approach, then the time which is required to learn that product or processes performance will be lesser. So if you go for these certifications, so it will be better in understanding related to your product and processes much faster. Last but not the least, by using these conceptual things from this Lean Six Sigma approach, you are also going to solve your personal problems also. So I have talked about the why this certification is very much important if you want to crack the code of successful professional life. So this certification is very much important if you want to get the success in the professional life. Now let's talk about the what it is, because why is clear now. So what is Lean? Lean is a continuous improvement methodology which is reduced non-valuated activities, this is also called as a waste, in the system to increase the speed of the processes. Now we are going to see what is non-valuated activities and valuated activities in the next slide. So before that, let's try to understand what is meant by this waste. So if you talk the waste are the unnecessary activities, and that is acronym by the word downtime. So it is having the multiple factors like defects, overproduction, waiting, non-utilized talent, transportation, inventory, motion, and extra processing. If you go by detailing of this word, the word itself indicates that if you are talking about the defects, then it is talking about the excess efforts, excess resources we are going to invest to rework or scrap or to correct the things. Then overproduction talking about the production of the parts or products which is not required or more than the requirement. Then waiting is talking about the idle time for your resources. Non-utilized talent is talking about the non-utilizing people's talent, skills, knowledge as well as their time effectively. Transportation is talking about the unnecessary movements of products and materials. Inventory is talking about the excess products and materials which is being processed and lies on the floor or lies on the shop. So it is not valuable. Motion is talking about the unnecessary movement of the people across the plant or uh, across the processes. And extra processing is talking about the we are doing the more work rather than the quality which is required. So all these are the waste, and this is indicated by the acronym downtime. So it is very easy to remember. Now, if you see what are the tools which are used in the as a benefit in your academic studies. Okay. So some of the examples, like if you want to increase the reduce the lead time of our processes, then we need to use the tools like value stream mapping. So with the help of value stream mapping, we will be reducing the lead time. Then we can use the 5 ways to make the workplace organized and avoid the searching time. Then we can also reduce or eliminate waste. This whatever we talk about the acronym downtime by using the waste walk analysis. So again, this is a very good exercise. And it is a part of a lean. So we can use that waste walk analysis to identify the waste, to initiate the actions, and also we can eliminate that waste from the system. Again, very important tool from the lean is Kaizen. Is that the continuous improvement, and this also involves the participation from all levels of the organization. So again, this is a very important tool to ensure the continuous improvement in the organization. Then if you want to reduce the changeover time from your plant or one of the machine, then you can go for the single minute exchange of dies. You can also use the Popeye to avoid or detect the mistake so that defective part cannot be reached to the customer. So this is the very small introduction of the lean and lean is, and if you are going to see what is a lean, then what are the tools or some of the background of lean. Talk about the value, so which is very important. If you are talking about the value, so what is a value? Value is nothing but the it is defined by customer based on the perception of the usefulness. So what is important for the customer, what is important for the customer from the product point of view or process point of view, and the necessity of a given product or service. So this is basically called as a value. And so again, there are two types of activities. One is called value-added activities. So value-added activities are an activity that changes the size, shape, fit, form, or function of material or information for the first time to meet the customer demand and requirement. So basically, these are the activities for which customer is paying to us. So these are all the activities are called as a value-added activities. And what are non-value-added activities? These are the activities that consume our resources and time but do not satisfy customer demands and requirements. So they are called as a non-value-added activities. So in Lean, what we are doing, we are focusing on to removal of these non-value-added activities so that the percentage of the value-added activities will be more, and we can increase the speed of the processes. Now, once the introduction of lean is covered, then the term comes in picture as a Six Sigma. So, what is a Six Sigma? Six Sigma is again the focused approach, and it is used to reduce the variation in any kind of processes. Like it also work with the processes in manufacturing, pharmaceuticals, healthcare, accounting and finance, BPOs, and many more. Almost every industry or every organization we can use this Six Sigma. So it is a very useful approach. And what are the tools, the things which are used in Six Sigma? Like the DMAC, that's a define, measure, analyze, improve, and control. So we are initiating projects to improve the customer satisfaction, and how we are improving the customer satisfaction by identifying what are the areas in which we are having the complaints, and we can reduce that complaints so that we can improve the overall customer satisfaction. Then organizations also having the goals, strategic goals like 3 years, 5 years, what the organization want to achieve. So if you want to plan and execute organizational strategic goals, then also we need to use the Six Sigma. Then as we cost is a very much important factor. So if you want to reduce the operational as well as overall cost of the organization, then we have to use the Six Sigma approach. Then we can reduce or eliminate the defects in processes by reducing the variation of the processes. So then to monitor and control the product and process performance with the help of tools like control chart. So again, Six Sigma is very much of useful. And if you want to go for the product or process design, so there is a very systematic approach which is called as a DMA. Now, if you use these two approaches, Lean and Six Sigma together, so each of these approaches having its benefit. So, for example, if you go for the Six Sigma, it mainly focuses on the process variation reduction. So that's why we can call it as a defect reduction, and we can achieve the cost reduction due to the defect reduction. It mainly focuses on the process part of, so that we can reduce the variation in the process and we can achieve the quality. Whereas lean focuses on maximizing the process velocity. So how we can reduce the waste in the system and how we can increase the speed of the process. Then the cost reduction in this lean can be mainly achieved due to the reduction of the working process as well as reduction in the resources which is required to complete the task. It focuses on process as well as in between the processes also. That's why the lean is having the unique feature, and that is very important. And this is mainly focusing on the speed of the processes. So if we use these two approaches together, lean plus Six Sigma, so lean is working on the speed and Six Sigma is working on the quality. So we will be going to achieve the lowest cost. So that's why this integration is very much important from the cost point of view. Now let's understand what is this Six Sigma. So in this Six Sigma, there is a term sigma. So this is basically a Greek letter, and which is used to describe the variability in the process. So if we talk in terms of the statistical terms, this is called as a standard deviation. So this standard deviation or this Six Sigma is not invented in a like month. So it has taken the several years. So you can see this journey of the Six Sigma. So it is started from 1798 and before that also. So it is start with daily Whitney interchangeable parts, and there is the introduction of go and no go gauges. Then thereafter the 24th assembly line. Then there is a invention of the control chart by the Walter Shewhart. So there is a very big journey, and in 1987, the Motorola has invented this term Six Sigma. So what is Six Sigma? It is nothing but the accumulation or accumulation of all these tools and techniques, and they are arranged in a very good manner so that if you go through this approach step by step, you will be getting the breakthrough results. So this is very much important approach, and this is basically a packaging of lot of quality tools which are invented, and some of the advanced quality tools also added to it afterwards, like quality function deployment. So it is recently added to the Six Sigma, and it is added advantage. And after that, we can use the Six Sigma. So I think for the questions, let me complete the presentation, and then we will be having a separate session so we can I can answer all your questions. Is it okay? Thank you. So what is Six Sigma? Six Sigma is a basically statistical representation that describes quantitatively how your process is performing. So rather than going into the calculation part, let me tell you, if you are having the product defects at a 3.4 defects per million opportunities, then you can say the your process is at Six Sigma level. So why these 3.4 defects come into picture? So that we're going to see in details because that will take much of a time. So I think that will be covered in training. But let I introduce in short. So if you are talking about the Six Sigma, so it is nothing but the plus 3 and minus 3 Six Sigma. So which is talking about the output between upper specification limit and lower specification limit, which contributes around 99.997 percentage of the output. And this output is non-defective, and when it is having so much of level, then we are calling it as a Six Sigma level. So if you can see, as your sigma level is increasing from 1 to 6, your DPMO, that is defect per million opportunities, is reducing from 7 lakhs to 3.4. So if you are talking about the your process level is at 6 sigma, means you are having a defects per million opportunity level as 3.4. And if you talk about the yield, if you are at the 1 sigma level, then you are having a yield around 30 percentage. But if you go to the improvement of the sigma of your processes, then it is going to be a 6 sigma. It will be 99.9997 percentage. Now there is a term DPMO. I think it is very much important that must be understood by you, because that without that term, it is difficult to understand what is Six Sigma. So let's go to the understanding of that term. So before that, am I audible?
Yes, we can hear you. Yeah.
Okay, I think some. So before to go to the defects per million opportunity term, let's understand. So you can understand with this very simple example. This is a car. The process spread So why reduction in variation is very much important. So why we need to go for this improvement approach? So we can see with the help of this example. So this is a car, and we can see this width of the car as a process period or process variation. And if you go for any of the product or processes, it is having some customer expectations. We are having a customer specification as the wall, and the car is your process capability or process variability. Now, if you trying to produce with this much of variation, then there will be the problem with the customer, because lot of the production is going to be scrap or river, because it is not meeting the customer requirements. Now if you going to reduce the process variation, that we can see the customer expectation is equal to the process spread, then it is going to be perfect. But it is very much we can say difficult to keep the process always at the center. If there is a control losing by the driver on any one of the side, again there is a possibility of having the accident, or we can see the having the defective production. So if you are goes on reducing the width of the car, so we can see goes on reducing the variation in the process, so we can see the customer expectation is going to be met and customer is going to be happy and happy, right? So this is for the 1.33, and if you go for further reduction of the process spread, then it will be very easy. LSL and USL, these are the basically lower specification limits and upper specification limits which are specified by the customers. So if you are talking in terms of product or processes, customer is specifying what its lower specification limit and what is upper specification limit. So to meet that upper specification limit and lower specification limit difference, so our process must be having the lowest variation, so that if there is a little bit shift in this process mean, or we can say there is a little bit shift in the process, then still we will be able to meet the customer requirement and there will not be the defective parts. And this scenario is called as a Six Sigma. If you are having the very low reduction compared to the customer specifications, that is calling as an improvement in the sigma level. Now let's understand the important term defects per million opportunities. So on which we are calculating the sigma level. So consider this is a simple example of paper clip. So if you are say this paper means it is going to having a defect of it is not clamping, right? So that is only one defect it can be have, because it's a paper clip. Its ultimate use is to clamp the papers. If it is not able to clamp, then there is a defect, and there is only possible defect which can be possible with this pin. Now let's say an scenario, if you are having a 7 clips defective of in 1000 clips, so what will be the defects per million opportunities? Simply it will be 7 divided by 1 into 1000. So what it indicating that we are having the 7 defective parts, and out of 1000, and every part is having the one opportunity for the defects. If you multiply this by 10 raised to 6, so it is we are converting into the million part. So we are having a 7000 of DPMO. Now if you go to the consider the another example of computer, so the paper clip and computer, the complexity is totally different. So paper clip is a very simple part and the computer is a very complex part. So if we are having the comparison based on the ppm, let's say parts per million defectives or percentage defective, be going to make the very much of confusion, because we are treating the clip and the computer at the same platform, but it is not the case. So for that purpose we need to identify what are the defects opportunity in computer. So let's say that a computer is having 10 opportunities. It will be like bad drives, it continues goes on hanging, and display flickers. So these are the some of the defects. So there are 10 opportunities. Now let's continue with the same scenario. We are having the same defects, 7 number of defects in 1000 computers. Now in this case DPM going to be changed, because here we are adding the opportunities 10. So 7 divided by 10 into 1000, and it will be multiplied by 10 raised to 6. So if you see, DPM level is drastically reducing, because in case of computer we are having the 10 opportunities, right? In case of the clip we are having the 1 opportunities. Now if you can talk in terms of same number of defects, but in terms of the term DPMO, then we are having the basically good justice with this clip as well as the computer. And if you compare having the same number of defects, we can see that the though DPM is different, so we can see the computer is having the higher sigma level compared to the paperclip. So this is the simple example to understand what is the term DPM. This is very much important when we are going to understand what is a Six Sigma level. Now we are talking about Six Sigma, Six Sigma, Six Sigma. So why not we go for a Five Sigma, Sigma or Eight Sigma? So why we are stuck for the Six Sigma? So what is the logic behind it? We are going to see in this slide. So if you are talking about the Six Sigma, I had already explained you what is the Six Sigma. So it is a 3.5 defects per million opportunities. So it is not very easy to achieve that level because 3.4 million defects per million opportunities achievement is very much difficult because it is required a lot of investment and multiple series of projects, focused projects are required to achieve that level. So that's why we are talking about the Six Sigma. Now, if you go beyond Six Sigma, then the cost of this implementation is goes on increasing, and whatever the benefits we are getting from that, it is not justifiable. So if you are going to further improvement of the Six Sigma level, that's if you are going for the seven Sigma or Eight Sigma, then the cost of implementation is goes on increasing because a lot of capital investment is required, and also there is a investment of focused approach is also there, but whatever the benefits you are getting from it, it is very less. But in some industries, as I talk, airline industries, we cannot say that 3.4 flights, it's acceptable that 3.4 flights will be crashed after a 1 million, because there will be the very high, very huge fatality rate, and definitely it is not acceptable. So these airline industries need to be worked, and they did not to be worried about the capital investment or the efforts or time is required, because they have to work on the more reliability part of it. So in that case, the processes or services can go for the Seven Sigma and Eight Sigma. But if you take for the example of ordinary services, so it is not required that you should put so much of effort, because it is not giving so much of benefits. Now, if you take an average of all the processes which is happening across the manufacturing and some BPOs processes or pharmaceutical processes or accounting and finances, so there typically sigma level is three to four. So by taking series of Six Sigma projects, it is very easily possible that we can reduce the, or we can reduce the defects in that processes, and we can improve that processes to the 3 and 4 to the 5 and 6 Sigma level. So that's why we are talking about the Six Sigma and not 5, 7 or 8. Now, what is the approach used in Six Sigma? So there is a traditional approach is having which that in which we are having one practical problem and we are converting that practical problem into directly a practical solution without having so much of study. And this is mainly done by the experience you are having, gut feeling, or some of your colleagues' experience. So based on that, we are having the practical problem. We are taking immediate action and we are converting that practical problem into practical solution. Many of the time, it is not working. So Six Sigma is having a different approach and it is a very systematic approach. So what we are doing in Six Sigma, we are converting practical problem into the statistical problem. So how we are doing it? For this, we are using the tools of process mapping. So we are defining what is the key process input variables and what are the key process output variables. So these are also called as x's and y's. So we are going to formulate the equation of y is equal to f of x. So what is a output and what is the input and what is the relation between them to find out that. So we are going to define statistical problem for the practical problem. Then in next, we are using the power up statistical tools to identify solution of the statistical problem. So this solution is a statistical solution which is achieved by the use of statistical tools. Now, step, we are converting that statistical solution into the practical solution. So this is the simplest but very effective approach we are using in the Six Sigma. Practical problem we are converting to the statistical problem. We are finding the statistical solution of that problem and then converting that statistical solution into the practical solution. Now there are two main approaches that are used in Six Sigma. So these are basically work on the Deming cycle, that is plan do PDCA cycle, plan do check act. There are two approaches, DMEC, so which is talking about define, measure, analyze, implement, control. So there are a series of tools are there and a series of process approaches, systematic approaches there. So we have to use in each of these phase. to identify the problem and to identify the solution, and again its implementation. So there are two approaches. One is DMake and DME. With DME, so DMake is basically used for improving an existing business processes. So you are already having a process and you need to improve that process, then you have to use this DMake approach. So that is a define, measure, analyze, improve, and control. But if you are creating the new product, new process, then this DMake is not sufficient because little bit different approach is required. And that in that case, we are using the DMADB. It is mainly improve is replaced by the design and control is replaced by the verify. So define, measure, analyze, design and verify is the approach we are using in DMADB. This is also called as a DFSS, and we can call it as a design for Six Sigma. So this is a different stream or different approach which is required for that, but it is again a part of a Six Sigma. Now let's talk about the DMAC. So DMAC is mainly, as I already told, it's working on the Deming cycle, Deming's PDCA cycle, that is plan, do, check, and act. So let's understand in short what is define, measure, analyze, improve, and control. So in define, we are going to define the problem. So what is the problem customer is facing that we want to identify here. So in this way, we are in this phase, we are going to define the system. So what is the scope of the project? What is the voice of the customer? Who are the stakeholders? Who is the customer? What are the requirement of the customer? What is deliverable of the projects? What is the project goal? What is the timeline? So everything is going to be defined here. So here we are going to define what is the area or what is the problem on which we are going to work. The next phase is a measure phase. This is talking about the quantification of the problem. So once you define the problem, you need to quantify that problem. So what is the problem is? So in that case, we are using the process mappings. So we can use the process mapping, value stream maps, cause and effect matrix. So something we are going to use here to identify the key aspects of the process. And after that, we are going to collect the relevant data with the required sample size. We are going to check the measurement system analysis and also the capability of the process. So in this phase, we are going to identify or we are going to quantify what is the problem. So once you quantify the next part comes in the analysis phase to identify what is the cause of the problem. What is the root cause of the problem? In this case, we are using the various statistical and simple tools. So there are some analytical tools or there are simple tools, like we are using the cause and effect relationship. We are going to use the hypothesis testing. We are going to use the correlation and regression. So there are multiple tools we are going to use here, and we are going to identify, so what is the root cause of the problem. Once you identify what is the root cause of the problem, the next part is the implementation of solution. Then you have to identify what is the best solution which need to be implemented so that we can avoid the recurrence of the problem and we can fix it permanently. And once you identify or once you implement that solution, then we need to also optimize that solutions, because that whatever solution you have identified, that cannot be optimized. So in this case, we have to use the advanced statistical tools like design of experiment or EVOP. Such of the tools we have to use, and we have to optimize that solution. Once you have done the optimization of it, again there will be the validation of runs. So you need to run that solution for a certain period of time. Let's say for the 30 cycles or something like that, we have to run that, and you have to validate that whatever the solution you have put, that is giving you the significant improvement in whatever the process defect or product defect you are working on. And once it is validated, then the most important parts comes in picture, that's a control. And this is the area in which maximum Lean Six Sigma project fails, because you fabulously do the work on define, measure, analyze, improve, but you not putting the enough control so that whatever the benefits you have achieved through your Lean Six Sigma projects, that are going to be collapsed here. So here there are multiple tools we have to use so that you should maintain the control over your solution. So we can use the various tools, like you can use the control charts, you can use the control plans, we can also use some visual workplaces, 5 ways. So again, there is a set of tools in each of the phase which we'll be going to see when we go through the detailed certification training. So this is a basic approach we are using in the Lean Six Sigma. Now, if you go to the multiple roles in Lean Six Sigma, so there are multiple roles. So starting from the executive leader, who are the executive leader? These are the CEOs, MDs, and top management from the organization, and they are basically responsible for defining vision for the execution of Six Sigma. Then the next level comes to the champion and sponsor. These are the members from the upper management, and they are mainly responsible for Lean Six Sigma implementation. So whatever the resources are required, so to provide that resources is the main responsibility of these champions and sponsors. Then the next level is a black belt or master black belts. So these are again assigned by the management, top management or CEOs, and their 100% time is devoted in the implementation of Six Sigma. They need to observe whether all the tools, techniques, and approach is used by all the employees of the organization so that they can achieve the significant results in their daily life as well as in the project-based approach. Then the next level is a green belt. So these are the candidates or these are the participants, these are the players, so which are taking the roles of Six Sigma implementation along with their some additional responsibilities. And again, these are assigned by the management. So they are supporting black belts and champions so that the effectiveness of project implementation can be speed up. And the last level is a yellow belt. So these are the temporary people, so which can be given to the knowledge and that can be involved in the process project implementation for a short period of time because they are having a lot of more responsibilities also. So to have the thinking change, or we can see the speed of the implementation, or we can see the support in the change management, we are involving these people as a yellow belt. So this is a overall structure of the implementation roles in this Lean Six Sigma. Now we have talked about the Lean Six Sigma. What is the detailed approach used in the Six Sigma? Now let's talk about the what is the detailed approach used in Lean. In Lean, it is basically talking about the five principles. Let's talk about the first principle. It is talking about the definition of the value or define value. We are already seeing value. So value is the what your customer want or what your customer is required. So you need to identify what is that value in the first step or in first principle. In second principle, we have to map the value stream. So we have to make the process and problems visible so that we can use the process mapping, value stream mapping, and we can identify problems. In the create flow, so in this, we going to determine the things that is getting to stuck and work that you will smooth through the process with easy. So you need to identify what are the obstacles. So whatever the waste we had seen in the earlier slides, so downtime, that's a defects and all that. So we have to identify what are the that waste of the system, and we have to work on that, and we have to implement that. So that's the third principle of the Lean. And fourth principle is talking about the establishment of the full system. So this is basically talking about we need to produce the parts so which is asked by the customer. We do not to have the excess production or overproduction. So basically talking about we are producing the units as only the rate of the customer demand. And the last part is a pursuit perfection. So this is talking about to obtain the control. So whatever we have achieved up to the four principles, and again, we need to have the continuous improvement in that so that we can reduce all the waste in the system to the zero. So this is a basically lean. Now, if you conduct the or take the Lean Six Sigma project and implement it, and how or when we can say that the project is successful. So if you are getting some of these benefits, then we can say the project is successful, or for that purpose we are getting this Lean Six Sigma project. You can take it either way. So the first is increased profit. So this can be done by increasing capacity, producing the products or services faster so that in limited resources we can be having the maximum production. So in that way we are going to increase the profit. Then we can reduce the cost, and this can be done by the reducing the waste from the processes or solving the problems proactively so that also we can have the lower process variation. So by using some of the things we are going to decrease the cost, then improve the efficiency so that we can make the things scalable and in short period of time we can do that. Improve the effectiveness from the customer perspective, though the product or process is efficient, but is it effective from the customer perspective? So that is also going to be reflect here. And the last but the most important point is develop effective people and team. because relying on employees to run the improvement efforts, and if you want to create the employee engagement or trust in the organization and to have the culture of continuous improvement, we must have this Lean Six Sigma project. Now, up to this point, we had seen to why certification is required, and if you are talking about the Lean and Six Sigma, what is the Lean and what is the Six Sigma? We had seen that. Now, if you are going to go do that certification, then we have to go for the some of the organization or some of the experts, so which are having the hands-on experience in that, and they are very good to it. So Learn and Apply is one of that organization. So we have to go for the Learn and Apply to get these certifications. So we are having these two certifications, green belt and black belt. So in green belt we are having 60 plus hours of training, which is inclusive of one-to-one training. Then we are having a Q&A sessions, then separate handholding support in the project. In black belt also we are having 120 plus hours of training, separate Q&A sessions, support in project implementation. So if you see the values, so whatever the hours or what is the time we are delivering you, it is the highest in industry. So no one is giving that much of dedicated time to you. And if you go to the benefits point of view, so we are having a multiple benefits, like we are having the practical approach in real life application. So after every training, each of the participant is getting the one practical scenario on every weekend. So he need to think on that practical scenario. So whatever they learn on last 2 days, he have to think on it. And unless and until he understand what is happening that 2 days, he will not able to solve that practical situation. So on every weekend, you will be getting this practical situation. So it will be improving your practical approach in real life education. Then we are also providing 100% guidance in practical execution of one green or black belt. If you are going for the green belt and black belt respectively, we are having the most practical BOK which is required. And if you go for the implementation of it on field, so definitely it will be the highest beneficial course, so from the Learn and Apply. But if you go for the another certifications in the world which are very uh, honorable certifications like ASQ or International Association of Six Sigma certifications, so you can go from there also, because whatever the syllabus they required, so that syllabus also we are going to cover. So we are covering all the knowledge from the ASQ, ISSC, plus we are having the extra practical test to it. So it is having added advantage to Learn and Apply. Then we are having the weekly assignment on completed topics. Then easy access to 100 plus videos. So you can check that videos on Lean and Six Sigma to understand concept with practical examples. Now, if you are going for the green belt or black belt training, then we know it's a statistical approach, and sometimes it is not possible to understand 100% training. So we are having a facility, or we are providing an option, so that if you want to attend the number of trainings which are coming in the next 6 months, so it is a totally free of cost. So for example, if you are going for the green belt training this time, I will answer. This is just 5 minutes presentation. After that, I will answer your questions. Is it okay? Thank you. Now, uh, if if you conduct the green belt training this time, then for the next 6 times you can attend the other batches green belt or black green belt training free of cost. If you are having the black belt training this time, then we can go for the black belt training for the next 6 months batches free of cost. So that is we are having. So we believe in providing more resources to provide a great learning to you. We are having the digital notes so that we can everywhere access that notes, and we can start learning from it. The most important part, we are covering that we are having very detailed training on the Minitab, so which will be useful. So from the respective certificate you want. So for example, for the green belt and black belt, so we are added respective Minitab exercises to that. Then we are also providing the full guidance if you are going for the ASQ Six Sigma Green Belt or Black Belt certifications, and that is without any extra cost. The only cost we have to bear, you have to bear that the certification cost of that respective organization. So we are providing the free of cost support to you if you want to go for that certification also. Now, for the practice perspective or practice point of view, we are continuously providing you the 150 plus and 250 plus questions for your green belt and black belt, so that your knowledge continuously be uh, updating. And then we will be having the mock test with 100 questions and 150 questions for green belt and black belt respectively, without any extra charges. So whatever the mock test we are providing you to test your knowledge and to acquire the understanding, so that is again free of cost, so we are not having any of the additional cost for it. Then again there is a final examination and certification after you complete all this. And in final examination, if you are getting the more than 60 percentage of score, then again you will be getting the certification online. Again, we are not adding any of the cost to it. In addition to that, we are continuously, or at the start of the training, we are giving what is the stepwise procedure if you want to go for the particular certification. Now, if you are the green belt certification candidate, and next time if you want to go for the black belt from the learn and apply, then there is a special thing that only you need to pay the difference. So whatever the fee you have paid this time and whatever the black belt fee at that time, so only difference you need to pay. You need not to pay the total cost. And if you are having the group, let's say three people, four people, five people, something, then we are also providing special discounts then, because it is enhancing our financial also, and it is very beneficial for you also. And for the trainings, we are using the world's best platform, that's a WebEx. Though we need to pay some extra for it, but the customer satisfaction is the most important for us, and that's why we are providing all this training on the WebEx. Now, these are benefits. The biggest benefit what we are giving, so no one in the world is giving that. So after end of the training, on each day we are providing exclusive video recording of all the training files to the enrolled participants. So whatever we are covered in the entire day, so entire training file, video file will be given to you, so that we can go through it multiple times. You can check it, and if you want some questions, if you want to ask some questions, you can directly ask to us. And there is a formation of the WhatsApp group. So in that WhatsApp group, you can ask the multiple questions, unlimited questions on the particular topic, so that you will be having the clear idea about the terms and concepts, and we will be happy to support you. And this support will be the lifelong for the WhatsApp support. So if you want to and whatever the duration of the time you want to enhance your learning, we are there. Then why we are unique? So there are some of the things we focus more on the practical implementation and less on the theoretical calculation part of view. So that's why we are requesting you to enroll for the, if you want to bring the revolution in your professional life. So here is one example. Let's say, so this kind of statistical equation and terms which is going to be everywhere. But if you trying to understand that, it is sometimes very difficult, and it is keeping a headache or bringing to you. So for that purpose, what we are doing, we are using simple simulations. So by that simulation, so whatever the concept clarity you will be getting, that will be in your mind lifetime. So you will be having the we will providing you the simplest way to understand complex things. So these kind of simulations we are having, so it will be helping you to understand very complex terms in a very simple way. So that is a unique thing, as we are going or we are providing more value to you, because practical execution is very much of important, and understanding of the concept is very much important. So that's why, though we are giving this theoretical portion to you, but we are focusing more on how we can provide you the simulation kind of thing, so that it will be very easy to understand for you. So this is the unique thing, and I think we are the only which are giving it. Now the last part is financials. So I think I have talked about so much of benefits, so which is learn and apply having. But if you go to the financial, so it is, I think it is a very higher cost, because we are having the unique features which no one in the world is given. But uh, there is a simple myth, because all the benefits which we are seeing in the earlier slides, so which will be having the lowest cost in the industry. Now, just don't just that the lowest cost as a lower quality in our case, because we are having just the purpose that we don't want anyone to restrict from the learning due to some financials. And financial also, there are though we are having the lowest cost in the industry, we are also having the multiple benefits or multiple in that also. And see, we are providing you the best quality of training in the world at the most affordable cost. So this kind of curriculum, you can go through the voucher, you cannot get anywhere, and at this cost, it's simply impossible. Now, also, if whatever the cost we are showing, that is the inclusive of everything. So it is having no hidden charges. It is inclusive of 18% GST. So after that, putting the value, we are not saying that, oh, you need to pay the 18% GST again. No. So whatever the value you are saying, it's a total inclusive of all. So it is inclusive of 18% GST. It is inclusive of a mock test, which will be costing around 3,000 per test outside, but we are providing it to the free of cost. Main examination, which is costing again around 3,000 to each of the participant by the other organization, but we are again it's a free of cost. We are providing the project guidance for you. If you are doing the learning and project implementation side by side, we are with you to have the perfect project guidance so that you can get the maximum learning from it. If you want to do it later on, we are still there with you, and there is a lifetime support if you want to get the learning related to that respective concept or the portion of the Lean Six Sigma. Then we are having the special weekly Q&A sessions. So these Q&A sessions is specifically talking about whatever the sessions we have conducted in last 2 days, or we can say the Saturday, Sunday, whatever the sessions we are having. We are discussing everything from it on the next Friday, and that Friday will be having the discussion on the assignment which will be given you on every week, the practical scenario which will be given to you, and any other queries related to your learning. So or the project implementation, everything will be going to discuss on this weekly call. So this is a special treatment which we are giving. So nobody is giving that treatment. Then we are having lifetime free guidance by creating common platform to discuss. So if you want to discuss anything related to Lean Six Sigma, you can discuss. And the last point is that no extra certification cost. So if you want to go for the most honorable certifications in the world like ASQ or ISSC, you can go for it. We are providing support to it also without any extra cost. But for that organization, you need to pay whatever their respective charges. For example, if you go for the ASQ, their examination fee is around 45,000. So that 45,000 Indian rupees that need to be paid to that organization or ASQ, and that you need to pay to directly that organization. So we are providing that kind of support also. Now, so whatever fee we are having, that is lowest. Now, if still having issue to pay this lowest fee, then again we are having the installment option. So you can pay this fee in installment also. So number of installments you can have, and you can pay this fees in installment also. And the last point, still I have covered all the benefits, all the financials, everything. And still, if you have a doubt on our capabilities, then I'm requesting you that attend a free training of the day one of the Lean Six Sigma Green Belt and Black Belt training program, which is a free of cost. And if you like it, then you can go for the enrollment of the next phases of the Lean Six Sigma. And if you don't like it, so don't worry. You need not to pay anything, and you can skip the learning process. So up to this point, we are providing our hands so that we can help you to achieve your professional goals. So I think I have covered all the part of this webinar. So I think we can go for the questions. Yes, we see the questions. Let's see, there's a question from Mahadev. Is there difference training topics for the Lean and Six Sigma, or both combined? For the Lean and Six Sigma certification, so we are having some of the tools from the Lean and some of the tools from the Six Sigma. So there are the very important tools from Lean like value stream mapping, then Kaizen, then Pokayoke, then SMED. So that are the tools which are very specific to the Lean, and that tool gets added to the Six Sigma. So that approach we are using as a Lean Six Sigma. So obviously, so whatever the topics covered in Lean Six Sigma, that are more to the only Six Sigma. Definitely. Then please share the fee structure for Green Belt and Black Belt. So I think if you can write us at the info@learnandapply.org, so we can send you the Green Belt and Black Belt fee structure. There was a question from Manish. So Manish, I am requesting you to please write to us on this info@learnable.org, and we are going to send the this structure, green belt and black belts. How many tools are included in lean? So there are too many tools. Once you go into the details, then we will share you. So I think I have given us some brief idea about it. So what are the lean tools? List of international certifications. So basically, these are the two certifications, ASQ and this ISSC, which are the international certifications. What are the requirements needed to be able to get the green belt rather than having a yellow belt? So for the green belt, I think there is no job requirement. If you are having the graduation, then you can go for the green belt. Manish, what is the fee for green belt and black belt? Dhananjay, do you have the details of Manish?
Just a minute.
And then there is a Venkata Ajay. Does you provide job assurance or placement opportunity once a candidate successfully completes the green belt and black belt? So this is basically depend on your caliber. So how you can convince the interviewer how much dedication you have in the learning. So once you get the perfect learning from this and you understood the things, then it will be easy for you to convince the interviews. So the point of view, we don't have such kind of guarantee, but if you want to have the learning lifetime, so we can provide the lifetime learning. Regarding the Minitab training, does it provide a software remotely or it has purchased from our side? So we can give you the 30-day trial license key. So we can use that for the 30 days. But after that, if you want to use, then you have to purchase it. When will be the day one free training conducted? So that will be on 23rd. On Sunday, 12 p.m. to 3 p.m. 12 p.m. to 5:30 p.m. If you are interested, just send your details so that we can send you the link of that training so that you can go for that 1 day free training. What was the fees? I think Abu is again asking about the fees. So if you can just send your details at the info@learnandabra.org, we can get back to you. So what is the fees? Are you providing Excel for analytical purpose? Yes, we are using the Excel also. So whatever that analytical tools we are going to tell you, or during the measure phase, analyze phase. So whatever the options in available in Excel, we are providing you or training on that all the options. But Excel is having some restrictions. So some of the tools or some of the analysis cannot be conducted in Excel. So for that purpose, you have to use advanced statistical softwares like Minitab. So for that purpose, you have to go for Minitab. But definitely, what is possible in Excel, we will provide you the training on that. For example, ANOVA, regression, correlation, then some kind of hypothesis test. So everything that will be covered in Excel as well as Minitab.
Yeah, this is regarding achieving competitive excellence. Basically, I require that training. That is equivalent to Six Sigma, or how we need to do it? Is there a different training for achieving competitive excellence, or it's just a lean Six Sigma? The basic ACE tools or value stream mapping, as you said, there are so many tools which comes under ACE. Yes, it's just operation excellence.
Right. So see,
Yeah.
in operational excellence, there are multiple approaches are there. Like we will be having the lean, then we will be having the Six Sigma, we will be having lean Six Sigma together. Then we will be
Yeah.
having the TPM, then WCM. So there are multiple approaches are there.
Okay.
So Lean Six Sigma is one of the approach.
Okay, that will be helpful for ACE also, right?
Right.
So I just wanted to main thing is there a separate different training which will be conducted for ACE? That is what is my question. Or is just the Six Sigma which will include all ACE and all?
I think if you talk about the operational excellence, so there are multiple approaches and multiple tools are available. So you can go any one of it. So they are perfect.
Yeah, Vijay.
Yes, Imran. I can hear you.
Yeah. Can you give some example of how Lean Sigma can help in the industry?
Your voice is not audible. Can you please write the message?
No, I'm telling, can you give some example that Lean Sigma can help me in the BPO industry?
Can anybody hear Imran's voice?
I guess it is regarding how it can help in BPO industry.
Yeah, correct.
Yes. Definitely, it can be helpful for the BPO industries as well. So it can be used in whether you are from manufacturing, you are from accounting and finance, you are from BPO. It can be applicable
Okay.
to all. Is this answers your question, Imran? Okay, thank you. Guidance on Excel analytical tool. Yeah, definitely. We will be giving that. If you want to go for the first day free session, then you can also send the email on the info@learnandapply.org. So we will send you the details for it if you want to attend that training. So we can stop here. And thank you so much for your valuable time and the number of questions you have asked. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And please take care. Have a great day. Have a great evening.